that? You like what you hear? Well, that's because this is Play PS5, the podcast. And it sounds nice because for those of you that don't know, I'm the one that has edited this episode. That music, it's a nice segue into how you feel in the podcast. Welcome to Play PS5, the podcast. Jam out with us to this music while I introduce my co-host, but kind of my subordinate as well, Adam. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm only a subordinate to one of your family members.
Who?
And let me tell you, I'll let you make a guess, but I'll give you a hint. She's married to your uncle. Anyhow, your intro sucked. Welcome to Play PS5 podcast. I got him good. He's laughing. I love it when I make the old coot giggle. Anyhow, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to try to...
The old coot giggle.
I got him twice right off the bat. This is why we don't tell each other what our intros are. It's good when, I get him going.
Oh, Adam is known for his giggling coots.
Yeah, at least I didn't call you a cooch. So I am going to try to keep my energy high, and I'm glad we started off by strong because I just got done doing a virtual triathlon. So I went to the YMCA, biked, swam, ran, got back, scarfed down a bunch of Taco Bell. I'm going to crap my pants, and it's just, how soon is it going to be? So we better only do one segment, Alex. My question, because we got a little extra time, Alex, what is your go-to Taco Bell order?
Yo, this is a hot button issue. Taco Bell just deleted like half of their menu, talking about the spicy potato soft taco on the dollar menu no longer there. So yeah. I really don't know. They had a grilled cheese.
Mexican pizza, I know it's gone. I don't even know what that is.
Listen, it was good, but it wasn't my thing, but it was good. The spicy potato soft taco, it was a palate cleanser. And it's not there anymore, so I really don't know what to do with myself. The grilled stuffed burrito, grilled cheese burrito, that was good, bit expensive, but I haven't been since they deleted half the menu, so I don't know how to handle this. Adam, what did you get?
So I didn't know what to get, so I got a beef burrito, cheesy bean and rice burrito, and a chicken quesadilla thing.
Shredded mini chicken quesadilla?
Yeah, wow, you know it by heart.
It's $1, isn't it?
It was pretty good, yeah. The whole meal cost $3.18. I probably got, I don't know, 1,100 calories. I'm full. And I know what you guys are thinking. Is like, man, Adam, you're probably ripped. Well, I also ate a donut and a half this morning and then got some Taco Bell. So really, I just burned everything that I had already eaten, but whatever. Also, this gamer juice probably isn't going to help me out in terms of calories and or sugars, but I'm excited for this one. It is Calypso Ocean Blue Lemonade. So I've seen this stuff in gas stations, Kroger's, Walmart's.
It's sold in the automotive aisle. It looks like window washer fluid.
It does, but I'm excited. It's in a glass bottle. I love blue raspberry. I love lemonade. It has real lemon bits in it. So down the hatch, let's hope that it tastes as good as it looks.
I'm a person, I'm an excellent leader. Everybody knows that. And a good leader knows how to delegate. I've started delegating my wife to picking out my gamer juices. Nothing sexist here, all right? She just likes to do it. And that's what somebody wants to do something for me. I let them do it. I'm a great leader like that. Today she picked out my Blue Moon Mango Wheat. I feel like I've had this before as a gamer juice. We'll see how I feel. I think it's going to taste like Blue Moon.
So while you're sipping on that, I'll tell you what, I've already drank half this Calypso now. This actually is really good. At first, I thought it tasted just straight up like Kool-Aid, but then it's got that lemonade kick at the end. It's really good, and it's not overbearingly sweet, so it's actually refreshing along with sweet. Now, granted, there's 60 grams of sugar and 50 carbs, and there's 6% juice, so it's not a healthy drink, but I think I may be buying some Calypso products in the future. They had tons of flavors. This one definitely appealed to me the most. But that is a nice taste in my mouth.
You should email them for a sponsorship.
Calypso, maybe.
Remember that time Ball's Gamer Energy Drink said they were going to support PlayPS5 VR, and they just never sent us? They were like, we'll send it out for you. Gave them the address, everything, sent them $100. They never sent us anything.
No, I really, maybe we should reach back out to him. I love, like, balls just fits with our brand. And, none of this, we actually do have PS5 news. And I say we jump into that right now. Your gamer juice, was it good? Anything?
It's all right. Tastes like a beer. Yeah.
Okay, so tastes like a beer. Okay, so Alex, this is reaching. Obviously, we don't have a console yet. We don't have the price. We don't have the release date. So I'm reaching for news here. You tell me if there is anything to this or not. The PlayStation, the official PlayStation Twitter, they have a new header on top of their profile. And what it is showing is the console, Gran Turismo 7, Demon Souls, and Horizon Forbidden West. But Horizon was recently switched with another game, and things that people were considering is that with this new header, is that a clue into potential launch titles?
What other game was it switched with?
I, for some reason, did not write it down. That was a mistake on my part, but it was a game that I could see potentially being a launch title. Like, we know
where did you see this?
Forbidden West.
Because I just went to the PlayStation Twitter page, and all I'm seeing is the Avengers, and I'm really disappointed because I was getting excited about this little piece of news, this little nugget of news.
I could probably pull it up for you, but
I wish you would. I wish you would. Say I won't.
That's right. So
Adam, you say you have the dumbest news sometimes. There's nothing here.
I don't know what to tell you. They must have changed it again. It was there.
This is awful. Adam, you've ruined the podcast. You've ruined my hype.
my night is ruined.
I hate this. I hate this podcast, and I hate this video game.
Gosh, you freaking...
Sitting here trying to see your launch titles, all you're showing me is stupid. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, move on to the next one while I look up who told me this.
Yeah. The next piece of news. We'll just talk about potential launch titles. Yeah, whatever they're putting up there, that's going to be a launch title. I mean, here's the thing. When you buy a new video game console, they're going to have pictures all over the back of the games that are either out now or coming out soon. And there's always going to be one or two that never come out or come out very late. Talking about on the back of the PlayStation VR box, you had Gollum, which came out like at the very end of the PSVR life cycle. I think Too Human might have been on the box of the Nintendo 64 or GameCube, and that came out for the Xbox 360 one day. So I don't doubt that some of these might not show up, but Gran Turismo 7, Demon Souls, those are looking like launch titles, I would bet. Horizon Forbidden West, I think that was already pushed back to 2021. Whatever the other game is that you mentioned that they replaced it with, yeah.
The other game was NBA 2K21.
Who cares?
But it could be a launch title. It was the
Yeah.
Mamba Forever edition.
Oh.
Also, this screenshot was taken on the 2nd. So 2 days before this was being recorded.
So, yeah, like, that's going to be a launch title, but does that even count? Are you going to get it? Is anybody going to get it? Who cares?
Dude, there's a lot of sports fans out there. Don't diss them, baby.
Guess what? I don't care. This is a potential. I will be watching to see what games they're putting forward. I just saw on their Twitter account they're talking about Ride 4, a motorcycle racing game. All these games, they don't even really announce. They just mention like, so we have an interview with the developers of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 17. Turns out that's a PlayStation 5 game. So this is how we're finding out about games, and it's weird. I can't collect all this news that they're just kind of nonchalantly dropping on us. It's really nullifying some of the hype, but I guess that they're not launch titles and we don't really care that much. Moving on, a group of developers were brought together to share thoughts on the SSD, and the reviews were glowing. They loved the insane speed and Tempest 3D audio provided by the PlayStation 5. Adam, I didn't read much about this. Do you have much to say?
I mean, there were just tons of anecdotes about developers who were obviously developing games for the PS5, and they just went on and how fast and just almost instant the SSD, they said it was a huge game changer, no load screens. Like, apparently that opens up just a wide, a whole net and things that they can do that previously the PS4 and other gaming consoles weren't able to do. And then many of them mentioned the 3D audio and how that was groundbreaking and really helped the player, and I guess in this case the developer, feel more immersed in their environment and that they were, I guess, impressed that it worked and that it's an option. So, I mean, I don't know too much what to take away from this, but certainly that is somewhat encouraging, right? It's all been positive things, as you would expect, but
Let me put my conspiracy theory hat on here. Now, kind of jumping ahead on your next point. Let's talk about the next point, and then I'll circle back to this, all right?
okay, so this is, I don't know this stuff. Everyone's making predictions left and right. So I'm sure I can butcher this. I don't know.
Macquarie Insights? Macquarie Insights?
Macquarie?
Yeah, something
Okay,
like that.
Macquarie Insights. Thank you. It's an analyst firm, and they've been known to have pretty strong predictions that are fairly a high percentage being correct. They are estimating that the disc version for the PS5 is going to be $499. So to me personally, that seems too cheap. I know I said it was going to be above $550 because I think it's going to be $599. If they made it $499, that would be incredible. Put it in the basket, but do you think it's too low? I just feel like that's a real low number to be shooting out with for what you get with the PS5.
If this is the disc version, this is the premium version coming out at $499. That makes me feel weird in not a good way. That being said, I take all of these predictions with a grain of salt. If this isn't coming from PlayStradamus, you can't hang your hat on it. You know what I mean? We've heard a couple times now $499 is coming out. This is what I think is happening, Adam, and it's kind of got me shook a little bit. We just had NVIDIA announce their new computer graphics cards, the next generation of GPUs for the computers, PC gamers out there. They're going to be, I think the cheapest one is like $399 or $499, and it's already a notch above what I expect the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One or Xbox Series X to be able to perform. $499 is already beating the PlayStation 5 probably. What I'm thinking is happening here. We've heard some rumors about PlayStation 5 being a bit underpowered compared to the Xbox Series X. We're hearing developers step out of the woodwork and talk mostly about the speed of the SSD rather than talking about the graphical power. And we also are coming fresh off of a console generation, where Sony saw people continue to buy slim PlayStation 4 originals, even though the PS4 Pro was out. Also, this generation, we saw people go nuts for the Nintendo Switch, which is grossly underpowered, but people seemed okay with it. So my fear, and maybe this is unfounded, is that Sony decided to err on the side of less graphical prowess, meeting that minimum bar of like 4K, 120 hertz, which is good. I'm happy about that. PlayStation 4 couldn't really do that. They're meeting that bar, but they're not taking it a step further, and they're focusing instead on SSD technology. SSDs are cheaper than GPUs. So what we're going to get is a PlayStation 5 that does, it's a next generation of gaming, but it's not really going to be like this monstrosity beast of graphical prowess. And instead, they're going to lean on this SSD to be the selling factor. And I don't know how I feel about the thing is, I want to drop $500. I want to drop $600 on a console and feel like, guess what? All those PC gamers, they're going to be jealous for about a year. All those Xbox gamers were like neck and neck with them. I don't want to have an underpowered console. I'm ready to come out of the gate with something, even though it's expensive, it's just a freaking beast. And I'm feeling like at $499, Sony, I don't think they want to eat that much cost on selling their consoles. I feel like Sony's might be coming out underpowered. I don't know. The verdict's out. The games look beautiful so far, but you don't really know till you play it.
Yeah, my thought is I could see where you're going with that, and it makes some sense. But my other thought, and even before you mentioned about the fact that Sony may be just accepting that theirs is weaker, is I feel like for me, certainly graphics play a huge deal. You play a fuzzy game, and it really does ruin it to a certain aspect. But I feel like there's a point in which if the graphics are good enough, it doesn't matter if they're a little better. Like, they're already so good. What's it really going to change? Like, I'm thinking The Last of Us Part 2. Like, if the graphics already on the PS4 were incredible, if it were better, how much more would that have really made me enjoy the game. Not that much more, if any. I would have probably still been like, dang, these graphics are insane, like I already did on the PS4. So as long as I feel like it's a step above the PS4 and the games still look good, kind of like what they have been displaying us, I don't even really care that it's not as good as the new graphics cards for the computers. If you want, and this could be a whole podcast in itself, but I don't want a computer. I don't want a game on a computer. I'm not interested in a computer. And if you are, good for you. I know they are somewhat snobby about, the graphics cards and my speed, all that garbage. I mean, good for them. I mean, I'm glad if you want to spend $2,000, great. Go ahead. You have an awesome computer, I'll admit it. But that's not me. I don't care if your graphics are a little better. I don't care if you have 12 teraflops. I care about the games. I care about the ease of access of both games and features. And I care about sitting on my couch without my pants on, looking at my big old TV and playing some video games. That's what I care about, and I can't do that on a computer.
Adam, I want to say thank you for circling me back. I was spinning out of control right there, because you know what I forgot about? I forgot about the DualSense. And the PCs aren't getting the DualSense. We're getting the DualSense, baby. We're getting the DualSense. We're getting the PSVR. And the PCs don't have the VR with the DualSense. And the PCs don't have the DualSense. And the PCs don't have developers catering to the DualSense. So, Sony, make the DualSense a real thing. Make the DualSense something that you can't get anywhere else, and make everybody else jealous of it. Maybe that's where they're putting it front and center. They know that the graphics aren't going to be the selling point of the PlayStation 5 beyond just the basics, but maybe that shouldn't matter. The gameplay is what matters. Sorry, I got like a hair in my nose or something. I keep picking my nose for people watching on YouTube. Oh, goodness gracious. Adam,
what's
me.
new? Okay, so here's a game, Alex, the next bit of news that I've never played Witcher 3. We know that it's coming to the PS5. It has been made official, and it is going to be ray traced. So it is going to be absolutely beautiful and, I mean, probably almost completely change the game. I've never played it. Is this a game you're interested in playing? Have you played it? What are your thoughts?
So The Witcher 3, I think I've purchased it maybe 3 times now when it was on sale, because it's kind of known as like maybe the best video game of the last generation. Incredible story, beautiful visuals, elegant combat system, I believe, interesting mechanics all around, and it's also extremely long. It's something that I'm trying to strategize before I start it, how I'm going to knock out this game, because I know it's going to take me hours and hours and hours and months and weeks.
I mean,
play.
Where are we talking like new or No Man's Sky length, like 200 hours?
Yeah. I've heard people talk about they play the game for 80 hours and they've just done like the main quest, and there's just so much more to do. So I keep buying it, and I keep thinking like I'm not going to start it until I can play like the best version. And so I had it on PC, and I was ready to play the best version. And now I hear that a ray traced version is coming out. So I don't want to start it. I'm not going to be able to revisit this game because it's so long. So I want to play the ultimate version I can when it comes out. So now here I'm going to be sitting waiting for the ray trace version to come out for the PlayStation 5, even though it's sitting on my computer right now. That being said, hey, this is great. I guess this is effectively a launch title, right? It's a free upgrade for people who already own it on the PlayStation 4, which is ridiculous. This would be such a big seller if they sold it for like $20 or something like that. Maybe if you don't have it and you get it on PlayStation 5, it's $20. But people who already have it on the PlayStation 4, people like me, I have it on the PlayStation 4. If it was out on the PlayStation 5 with ray tracing and all this new fancy stuff, and they wanted to charge me $10 or $20, maybe even $30, $30 puts it on that line of like maybe where you get that maximum profitability, I would totally go for it. I'm going to have this new console, and I want it to look ridiculously awesome. And Witcher 3 is a game that's going to do that. So this is nuts. These guys are doing this. I don't know who these people think, CD Projekt Red making this game, I don't know who they think they are giving away money this way. But wow, Witcher 3, that's awesome. I'm pumped for that. That might be the best launch game if we're looking at it that way.
If we only had a podcast where we just played a game entirely,
like a whole game,
and talked about it, I'm interested that never came up in the discussion. But
I would love to play this game, whole or not, with you and discuss it. But
maybe in another life.
yeah.
Or in a different country.
Or another courtroom, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're changing directions a little here, and we're about ready to open up a discussion about televisions, computer monitors, and just having some lively master debating. And so, kind of to open this up here, Alex, how important is it to you to potentially upgrade what you're playing your PS5 on in terms of your viewing device, your TV, your computer monitor, anything else that is going to be in contact with your PS5 prior to actually purchasing the console?
Prior to purchasing it, yeah, you need to do it before purchasing it, because then you don't want to be caught with your pants down and you got this awesome video game console, but you're playing it on a 1080p TV, wasting all of the benefits. So that right there is the thing. I'm the kind of guy, when I get any kind of new piece of tech, I want to max that mother out. I want to do everything I can with it, get potentially all of my money's worth out of it, and know that whatever you throw at it, I'm ready to enjoy that component of it. So yeah, to me, it's important, and especially now when we're getting into this PlayStation 5 era where we know 4K is the thing. PlayStation 4, 4K wasn't a thing. PlayStation 4 Pro, 4K was like half in, half out. Like maybe you can play in 4K, but it's kind of like just upscaled. You're not going to get 60 hertz. You're definitely not going to get 120 hertz. It's just this kind of like mid-generation boost. It's kind of hard to understand. Not every game works with it. Now here we are, PlayStation 5. All these games are going to be pumping out at 4K. 60 is what I'm assuming. That's the standard now. That's what everybody wants. And please don't come at us with 4K 30. Nobody wants that. 4K 60 hertz refresh rate, or faster if you can. So yeah, you're going to need a TV that does that. I think the TVs are finally coming out to do 4K 120. So you want to capitalize. You're spending all this money on a console. Why spend all this money on a console when you're not going to see the visual boost that you get from it?
And in that, it is confirmed that the PS5 has 4K gaming at 120 refresh rate.
For every game? Because that's ridiculous.
I don't know, I can't tell you every game. I'm assuming I have read confirmed results, and that is the statement that has said.
That's beautiful. That makes me feel great. I would love to see that. I have a 4K TV. I think it maxes out at 30, maybe 60. It was a cheap TCL Roku TV. It does well. I think the other thing I'm missing is like some real good HDR. So I have reasons to bump my TV and get a better TV. But you got to do it, man. It sucks. Like, you're buying this new console, you got to buy a new TV too. It sucks, but you got to do it. Or else, what are you doing? Why are you even doing this?
See, I totally agree, and that's why this whole discussion about TVs and things came into action, because I have a TV that she served me well. I'm obviously going to keep it, but it's a 1080p. It's, I don't know, 6-7 years old.
What brand is it? Let me guess the brand. It's going to be Emerson.
No.
Hold on. Give me two more guesses. It's not Emerson. What's that brand that you get at Fred's? Like Comtronics or something like that. Is it a Panasonic
it's not
TV?
Cheap one. Screw you, dude. It's not a little cheapo. Anyhow, so I am purchasing a TV. I've pretty much made my decision what I'm going to purchase, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But this is what set the scene for the master debater of episode 5, and I am pumped. Here it is. I am here rooting for you to purchase a new television to match with your PlayStation 5, assuming 1, you have the funds available, and 2, you actually already don't have a TV that can optimize your PS5. And Alex is here supporting playing on a computer monitor, which definitely has some advantages and is an intriguing thought. So would you like to lay out your first argument, or do you want me to come at you with everything I have?
I need to set the stage for what's happening here. Adam's trying to buy. I know Adam's setup. Adam sits in front of his TV and a little gaming chair, just right up on it. No comfort, no lounging, nothing like that. Adam's right up on it as if it were a computer monitor. So I'm trying to tell Adam, maybe you should just look at getting a computer monitor that can satisfy your needs as a man and a gamer. So that's where we're coming from. Adam, come with your first point. I'm always better on the back foot, so please come with the first point, and I'll back my points up.
Well, here's my first point: is I feel bad for you that every master debater I have just ramrocked your entire life. You are just an abysmal little man with no land and no dignity. And so I am going to punt my first point to give you even a hope at winning. So if my next 4 reasons aren't enough to convince you to get a TV monitor, or a TV rather than a computer monitor, you're a nerd. You just want a computer monitor and you want a computer, and that's okay. But next 4 points are strong enough to rest my hat on it and know that I'm going to take you to school.
All right. My first point is refresh rate. Now, Adam's over here talking about how Sony has confirmed that the PlayStation 4 can do 120 hertz, but let me tell you, the PlayStation 4, or the PlayStation 5, sorry, the PlayStation 5 can do 120 hertz, but can your TV? Now, you go shopping around for TVs and they say 120 hertz, but you look at the fine print, it says effective refresh rate, 120 hertz. Do you want to know why it's an effective refresh rate at 120 hertz? It's because TV doesn't broadcast at 120 hertz. Netflix doesn't display at 120 hertz. Amazon's not pushing out an extra 60 frames per second on their damn TV shows. They're cheap. You're getting 30, you're getting 60, and anything beyond that, you don't need it because it's TV, and that's mostly what your TV is being used for. So now, you want refresh rate? You want smooth motion. You don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith. You want a PC monitor. Because PC monitors, for years, have been hanging out at 144 hertz. Adam, that's 24 hertz faster than the TV you're looking at. Now, Adam, I don't know if you know anything about how these things work. 24 hertz, that's basically a whole extra TV show you're watching per, hour of gaming. That's how many extra frames you're getting. And the PlayStation 4 is putting out at 4K, 120 hertz, but you know that your monitor is going to be doing just fine. It's not going to be struggling to put out that 120 hertz when it has 24 extra hertz to play with. On top of the fact that the 120 hertz that the PC monitor is doing is natural. It's designed to do it. It's been doing it for years, and it's been doing it without breaking a sweat. Whereas your TV, you're going to pay a premium to hopefully, maybe, Sony's TV brains will allow you to get up to 120 hertz and have it be real 120 hertz. But I'm not buying it, and I don't think it's going to happen. Natural refresh rate, that's point number 1, PC monitor, baby.
So here's the thing, I feel bad because I have actually had to sit down and do research on TVs so I didn't get hoodwinked. So typically, an argument like that, you would have got me, because I wouldn't have read up on the subject. Unfortunately for you, Alex, and this goes into my next point, so it's perfect. It is fantastic, because you are right. There are many a TV with effective refresh rates. However, there are TVs, granted they're upper models, they're more expensive. You're looking at $1,000 or more, but they have native refresh rates that are 120 hertz. No, they're not the 144 that you were talking about, but they're 120. And then there is HDMI 2.1 compatibility, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And what that allows you to do, get that bandwidth, it allows you to get those fast speeds. And there's a thing called variable refresh rate that locks in the gaming refresh rate. So when you see it on your TV, it is going to have that specific refresh rate that the PS5 is pumping out. So the additional, features that your computer monitor has, that refresh rate, that fact that it's a little stronger than you really need for the right TV, it's not making a difference, buddy. So the TVs nowadays, they have adequate refresh rates, resolutions, and features that the computer monitors provide. So your first point is bumpkus.
I don't think so, Adam. I don't think it's bumpkus. But I'm going to move on to my second point. You know what? Let's flip-flop my points. It's not bumpkus because looking at my second point is the price, Adam. You just mentioned it right there. You're going to have to pay a premium. You're going to have to pay $1,000, something like that. Adam, I'm staring at you. You look beautiful. But you want to know why you look beautiful? Because you're on a computer monitor that I purchased for $300. And that $300 computer monitor is easily pumping out 1440p, that's 2K, at 144 hertz. Now, if I had paid $400, you would be 4K at 144 hertz. But I didn't want to do that. I got to go dual screen sometimes, so I can't really blow my load on one computer monitor, if you know what I mean. Adam, the price, man, the price. I'm going to spend all this money on a TV, $1,000, $2,000, just so I can keep up with last year's computer monitors. It's the price, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're playing a game. You're playing something like The Witcher 3. You're not doing that with your friends. You're not hanging out with your friends playing Witcher 3. No, you want to get in there, man. And a computer monitor will do that for you. I know you, sitting there all huddled up with your video game console, trying to keep you warm in the winter because it's a PlayStation 5 and it's going to be hot as hell. You're going to be cuddled around that PlayStation 5 up close to the monitor, getting all the visuals if you're just willing to drop $300, $400 on a tightly spec'd, top-of-the-line computer monitor instead of going down to Sam's Club and seeing whatever they got on Black Friday for $2,000 and it doesn't even match the specs. Goodness, Adam, price is king, and price wins in this argument for computer monitors.
Okay, so TVs, number one, computer monitor, it's a small little monitor, dog. I won't say everyone, a lot of people, they're always looking at their phone. Alex, we work in a job where we stare at a computer for 6 hours a day? I'm always looking at a computer. You know what? Sometimes it's nice to sit back, to be able to sit 8 feet from a device and watch something when it's not 2 feet in front of you. I'm always looking at a computer, you know? Your eyes need a break. Don't stare at a freaking computer. You don't need it. Have something else. TV is your solution.
Was that your next point?
Yeah, it's easier on the eyes. You stare at a computer all day. Why would you want to go home and stare at a computer for another 4 hours?
Adam, if you're going to be staring at it all day, you at least want to be staring at it when it's doing what it can naturally. We're talking about native resolution. That's my third point. Native resolution. You're going to buy a TV, and it's going to have a native resolution of 1080p, and it's just going to upscale to 4K. Or you're going to buy a TV, and it's going to have a native resolution of 4K. Wonderful. That's great. But you might want to play a classic video game, and then it's going to display 1080p, and it's going to be downsampled. And let me tell you, Adam, I've been there. It's going to look like ass. It's going to look like straight up ass because your TV can't handle more than one native resolution. You know what can handle more than one native resolution? My computer monitor. My computer monitor, I could dance it all up and down the scale, all sorts of aspect ratios, everything I want because it's designed to be versatile. And I'm not paying a premium for that versatility. And $400, and all of your gaming needs are satisfied. And since we're going to be on the topic of backwards compatibility, you want to play some old games without them looking like ass. And your TV's not going to help you out with that.
Okay, so
ass.
Another point here is that I sit in a computer chair all day. I look at a computer all friggin' day. You don't want to do that. You want to come home. It's been a long week. It's Labor Day weekend, or it's been a long day. You know what you want to do? You want to sit on your couch. You want to take your pants off. You want to spread them legs. Hopefully don't smell like fish. And you want to be able to play video games on your big old mother effing TV. And that's what you can do with a TV. You can't do that with a computer monitor. You got to sit there at your desk in the computer chair. You know what? Keep the computer chair at work. You're freaking all but doing work by sitting there playing video game with your stupid computer chair or your computer chair and your computer monitor. It's bullcrap. Games allow you to relax and enjoy life, and you can't do that staring at a computer. Live life, man. Play on a TV. Take your pants off. Show the world what you got.
The sweet, sweet irony of that argument is that Adam delivered that argument while sitting in a luxurious gaming video gaming chair.
What do you want me to do here? What do you want me to get a throne and do the podcast on a throne?
I'm gonna buy a video gaming chair, but I'm not gonna play video games in it. All right, that's just the way it's go. Apparently,
Dude,
that's how
F
Adam
you. I will
operates.
turn this camera around and you'll see my setup. It's
please,
gonna have a new
please,
TV.
please don't
I've got
subject us to that.
I've got two. I've got two sofas, just the perfect distance. That 3D audio is gonna be reverberating, and I'm like, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And you're just laughing because you know you're beat. You know that people are gonna side with me.
Here's the problem, Adam. You're thinking that your gaming on the PlayStation 5 is going to be you sitting on a couch. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going to be dropping a headset on your head sometimes. And you know what's going to suck is when you don't have the free range movement of the headset because you're having to run a cord all the way up to the back end of your crummy ass giant TV that's barely pumping out 4K, breaking a sweat, breaking down after a year, can't return it to Sam's Club because I don't have that kind of warranty anymore on your crummy TVs. Here's the thing. When I have a monitor, it's right next to my console, man. It is right there. And then I have the rest of my room to move around and stretch my wings and spread my legs to get all up in this space. When I'm playing PSVR, I'm a PlayStation 5. You're not going to have that luxury, man, let me tell you, because your console is going to have to reach up to the TV wherever the hell you mount it, wherever the hell you put it. And you know what else is going to happen? You're going to spend all that money on the TV. You're going to play VR, and you're going to punch that sucker. You're going to ruin that fancy TV because it's not going to be bulletproof like my computer monitor is. Man, the things my computer monitor has seen me do, it can handle it all, man. It can handle it all, and your TV can't.
Okay, so before, I don't know, I really don't know about right now, to be honest. I don't know what your setup is. I know what it used to be. What do you typically play VR on? Your PS4, what's it hooked up to?
It's I'm staring at it right now. It's hooked up to my computer monitor.
Okay, what's it usually hooked up to?
It's been hooked up to my computer monitor for about a year now.
BS! Because I've seen pictures of it on a TV, and we played PSVR, the podcast. We've played hundreds of games, and it's always been hooked up to your TV. You've never had any issue. But here's the issue with it. I'm not just this isn't my rebuttal. My rebuttal is this. With that, you could have your daughter play VR, and you're able to watch on a nice big TV. The number of uses that a TV have are wider than that of a computer monitor. Let me tell you what, you ain't watching the Super Bowl on a computer monitor. You ain't bringing over your friends to watch the new Mel Gibson movie on a computer monitor. You ain't playing Wii Golf on a computer monitor. So you have an almost infinite number of ways that you can utilize a TV. Is the centerpiece of your room. You're going to have this $1,000 console. You're going to have this $1,000 TV. People are going to walk in like, this guy's a mother effing high roller. I need to be his friends. Let's go find him some super hot hookers to hook him up because he is loaded and he knows how to roll.
He needs hookers because he doesn't get his relief because he's not watching Little Star on that TV. Like I am on my computer monitor. Adam, that's what you're missing out. You mentioned versatility. I can do so many things on my computer monitor, but that's not my point. I can work on my monitor, but we're not here to talk about work. We're here to talk about play. We're here to talk about screens and data. Adam, computer monitors are running DisplayPort. DisplayPort. Adam, you're excited because your new TV is going to have HDMI 2.1, and that's going to have 48 gigabytes per second. Adam, my computer, DisplayPort 2.0, baby. 77 gigabits per second. Adam, I know these numbers confuse you. You're excited about 4K 120, 4K 60. Adam, DisplayPort 2.0 that my monitor is going to be capable of, we're talking 16K at 60 hertz with HDR. That's what computer monitors are capable of, baby. That's what DisplayPort is capable of, baby. I'm future-proofing this bad boy. I put the money into a good computer monitor right now, and it's going to pay dividends down the road. And the last thing I want to mention is ultra wide, baby. Ultra wide. You're stuck in your 16:9 little box all day. And here I am sitting at I don't even know what ultra wide is. It's so big I can't even see it. It's out of my peripheral vision. Every game is VR when you play it in ultra wide. And I've not seen an ultra wide TV. At least I haven't seen one for less than $1,000. But I've seen monitors that do it. And they get me horny.
Okay, here's my thing. As my rebuttal, we're coming close to the master debater here. So monitors, the big, like we could both admit, the monitors, they're only true for the PS5 specifically, not for the PS7 coming out years ahead or any of that garbage. For the PS5, the only thing these computer monitors, the real advantage is that they're a lot cheaper. They are. I can't deny that. But TVs, they've got 8K now. The PS5, you can do 8K in 50 to 60 frames per second. Well, great. Your computer monitor can do more than that. But if the PS5 can't pump that out, it doesn't matter what yours can. You're getting what the PS5 is pumping out. So that's great for the PS7 in 10 years. But by then, you're probably going to have another TV anyhow that can do it. HDMI 2.1, like you said, faster response times. You think, oh, computer's going to have a fast response time, fast refresh rate. Well, that new 2.1 is going to eliminate some of the discrepancy between the two. TVs are bigger. So when you do play Little Star in your PSVR headset, you know what? You don't box anyone out. Your neighbors can see. They can look through the window. They can see what you're playing. And you know what? They're having a good time too. You just don't know it because you got the headset on. And finally, dang it, screw you. I'm too cheap to pay for the Sam's Club membership. So no, I ain't buying my TV at Sam's Club.
Adam, this was a wonderful master debater. I wish we had somebody here to judge it. So listeners, please reach out to us on Twitter at PlayPS5ThePod or contact at PlayPSVR.com or contact at PlayPS5Podcast.com and let us know who you think won this round of master debaters. If you're on YouTube, please leave it in the comments below.
Do you not even have a rebuttal to my arguments?
Adam, here's my rebuttal to the argument, Adam. You're cheap. You're cheap, man, and I'm looking out for you. This is the man who won't buy his own video games. He's got to mooch off my PlayStation account. Sony, please, for the PlayStation 5, make it to where I'm the only person who can play my games. Adam is stealing them from me left and right. Please, Sony, please, make Adam buy his own games.
No, I won't do it. Okay, so now that Master Debater's over, I'm going to have a YouTube video up here probably by end of the weekend, kind of diving into specifically what you want to look for in a TV that will optimize your PS5 and what's going to give you the best gaming experience. So there are two things that are really important when you're looking at TVs, and I'll give you a few examples that I've found that are kind of our best choices, honestly. Number one, Alex mentioned HDMI 2.1 compatibility. So that's big time. The max bandwidth, 48 gigs per second. 8K at 50 or 60 frames per second, 4K at 100 and 120. Again, we've mentioned PS5 is confirmed for 4K gaming at 120. So to maximize that, you need something to be able to actually display that processing power. And some of these newer TVs with the HDMI 2.1 is going to allow that. We also have variable refresh rate with this HDMI upgrade. And so essentially the TV's display rate it matches to the graphics of the processors in the console to achieve a perfect image. What happens is if you have a TV that can't meet that, essentially the two don't match. And so it tries to match it, and then the image can have defects like there's some like tearing or there's just alignment issues. So Alex, right now, do you have any idea if your TV has HDMI 2.1 compatibility?
I don't believe so because it certainly doesn't have 8K, it doesn't have 120 hertz, and it doesn't have the auto low latency mode, which we're out of master debater now, but computer monitors have been doing all of that for a long time. But, you know, my current TV doesn't do that, and I will probably be trying to upgrade a TV here in the near future. I can't help myself. And
the good thing is that this actual HDMI 2.1 coming from HDMI 2.0 is actually just a firmware update. So actually the TV I'm looking at purchasing right now, it's only HDMI 2.0, but by the time it's a Sony TV. So by the time PS5 comes out, they should have got that software installation and set. So you should look into it. Your TV may have that capability. It just needs an update. And then the other thing, HDMI 2.1, and then as Alex mentioned, refresh rate, you got to have 120 hertz. It's the best refresh rate for gaming. It limits lag. It gives you the best picture. And overall, the best gaming experience. So with that being said, I have a few options for definitely me. I already know what TV I'm going to get, but I have them for you, Alex. It's also interesting that you're saying you're going to upgrade your TV, but you argued that you're going to play it on a computer monitor.
Yeah, that was Master Debater, Adam. Come on. I'm in it for the sport, all right?
That's right, because you know you're playing on a TV because TVs roll. And football's coming out, dude. Watching football in that 4K and that 120 refresh rate.
What's the release date on football, Adam?
First game is September 10th.
It's coming out. It's coming out.
It's coming.
We're all excited because you're coming out, Adam.
I won't even go there. So here are my three options. I have scoured the internet. I have looked at specs. I have gone to multiple stores. I have gone to the same store multiple times and asked different employees to ensure that their answers matched to be sure. Because seriously, if I'm dropping $1,500, I want to friggin' know I'm not going to get boned. So here are the three TVs I recommend and that professionals have recommended and match pretty much our specs for the most part. First, Sony X900H. So it's 4K. If you get 65-inch, we're talking $1,200. I know it's a lot of money. 55-inch is $1,999. It does support, or it will support, HDMI 2.1 in the near future with that firmware update. It also is compatible with the variable refresh rate and auto low latency. And so it's a Sony product. They're talking, it's really funny, Alex. What was it? Maybe the first podcast, we were talking about the Sony TV, and I laughed, saying what suckers would spend $1,200. I am literally now that sucker. I cannot, and I didn't plan this. Do you see, when you look in my eyes, do you see a sucker?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the biggest sucker I know, Adam.
You old coot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Giggly old coot.
You giggly old coot. Okay, the next TV is an LG Nano Cell 85. You could also get above. They got Nano Cell 90s and above. So you at least need to get an 85. It is HDMI 2.1 ready, meaning the ports in it are now ready for HDMI 2.1. I will admit, the disadvantage of going with the Sony is if, I don't know, somehow they're really delayed and they don't get HDMI 2.1 until July. Well, I've already been gaming on my PS5 for months by that point. There's nothing you can do. LG, you know you're getting a 2.1 immediately. The 55-inch is $949. The 65-inch is $1199. So it's about $50 cheaper than that of the Sony. It too is 120 hertz, and it has a bunch of other smart TV features. The final option I would suggest is the Samsung Q70. Again, they have a bunch of series, so they've got Q80, Q90. Any of those also work. The 65-inch is $1,200. It has a locked refresh rate specifically for gaming at 120 hertz. That, I think, is pretty impressive. It's locked. You know you're going to get it. The one thing you need to double check, though, and I don't want to say for certain, but you need to check that has HDMI 2.1. It may not. I feel like I've looked at some Samsungs that don't have it, but I've seen conflicting info. So you need to check with that. If you go higher than 65-inch, it does start to get a little more expensive. It is a great TV, and I know people with Samsungs, and they love them. So, Alex, have you had a Sony, LG, or Samsung TV in general before?
I've not had an LG. I've had a Sony, and I've had a Samsung. The Sony looked good, but it was a while ago, a long time ago. The Samsung looked great, but it died after like 3 months. Like the backlights went out, which is old technology, but it still just didn't endear me to Samsung TVs. The fact that this component would just crap out on me and I was SOL. Oddly enough, my favorite TV that I've ever had was a Vizio. Vizio sounds like an off-brand. The reason I liked it was because it had one of those, you know, the soap opera effect where like it did that smooth motion interpolation back in the day before there was real 120 hertz refresh rate. It made everything look like a soap opera, like the backgrounds were weird and stuff when you watch TV. But on gaming, it made everything look 3D. It made things pop. And so I've always wanted to find one of those TVs again that had the soap opera effect because it was excellent for video games. But they don't do it anymore. I currently rock a TCL TV, and it works very well for me. But I don't know that it is actually. I don't know if it's actually that good because you go to the store and you see like the Samsung and the Sonys, and they look amazing, and my TV never really looks like that. So part of me wants to get this Sony business with the special processors in it to lock the refresh rate, but part of me wants to say, hey, TCL, let me spend $700 instead of $1,500 on a TV and get something that looks just as good. I don't know, Adam.
But well, see, here's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that I tried that. Vizio was one of my first choices because I've had Vizios. My family has Vizios. They've always worked well, never had issues. You can't, at least unless you find something I can't find, you can't find 120 refresh rate native because those Vizios, those TCLs, they have the effective.
Yeah.
So that's no good. And they also don't have the 2.1 HDMI. So, I mean, for me, because I'm upgrading specifically for the PS5, I feel like if I don't get those things, I might as well not upgrade at all. So I'm going balls out, taking my pants off, chilling on my couch. I'm doing it. I think I'm going to get 65. I kept hearing that if you do 55, the only thing you think about is how much bigger a 65 could be. And then also, after doing research, apparently it's a good idea for something this expensive to get the 2-year protection plan, because if something's going to happen, it's going to happen soon. Kind of like with your Samsung within the first 3 months. After 2 years, don't buy any protection for that. But unfortunately, I haven't had any 3 of those TVs. So this is my first dabble. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little scared. It's going to be, with the protection plan, it's going to be like $1,500, and it's a lot.
It's terrifying until you get it mounted and you're done and you don't have to touch it anymore. But until then, are you going to wall mount it?
I'm thinking about moving soon, so I'm probably just going to put it on a TV stand.
Be careful when you move. Keep that box. Whatever box it comes in, keep that.
No, I still got the box for my 6-year-old baby.
Adam, I got to know what crappy Dollar General brand TV you're rocking over there.
I'm going to have to, I think it's an Insignia, but it's a Roku TV.
The Roku doesn't matter. Insignia is pretty funny. Okay.
Well, it's specifically like an Insignia brand, but it's a Roku TV. Like that's how they brand it, I think.
That has Roku built into it. Roku's like an Apple TV or something. Yeah.
I never even use it. That's the thing. I buy these smart TVs and I don't use any of it. You know, I use the antenna to watch some football, and I use the HDMI ports to play games.
You don't watch Netflix on it?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't watch that much Netflix.
You watch on your computer monitor, you big queef.
Sometimes when I'm cooking, yeah. Anyhow, here's the thing. We're winding down here, folks, but we got something exciting. We have been dropping over-unders. We have been dropping bets and predictions, and we have put Bean Boozles on the line. And here's the thing, Alex. I'm not exactly sure how to line this up. And I should have probably talked to you before we went live on this. So September 9th is the 25th anniversary of PlayStation. Because of that, people have a pretty strong feeling that there is going to be some type of announcement, some type of presentation from Sony. First of all, should we bet that will there be? And then if there is, have subsequent bean bets on that.
Ooh. Yeah, let's bet on if there's going to be or not. And I'll let you decide. Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'll see what you think, but I'm thinking 2 beans because it's so specific. So whoever loses, how to make that work. I want to make it fair. But, okay, first of all, that's right. Is there going to be an event on September 9th? Of all days.
Do I get to guess? I get to guess this one. You got to guess the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think September 9th, the 25th anniversary of PlayStation, do you think that there's going to be some type of announcement for the PlayStation 5?
If there is anything I've learned from this console cycle, it's that if Sony does not tell you something is happening, it is not happening. So I do not think something is happening September 9th. They have given us no indication that listen, I'm on the phone with Mark Cerny on the reg, and he seems nonplussed about next week. I think he's talking about going on vacation, hanging out with his grandma or something like that. Nothing's happening September 9th. Yeah, 25th anniversary. Awesome. You might get a new theme on your PlayStation 4. That's about all it's going to be. I wish, but I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I think we're going to see it in the teens. September teens somewhere is the announcement.
That's real close to the 9th.
Yeah, but it's not the 9th. That's the thing. It's not the 9th. Sony does not give a rat's ass about this anniversary business, man. For whatever reason, they just do not care.
I'm glad they don't care. I hate companies that just hang their hat on previous success. You know, come up with something new. It's good you were successful, but move on. I appreciate that. Okay, so if there is not a announcement, you won the bet, I eat the beans, game over. If the event does exist, 2 more bets. Do you think the launch date will be announced, or do you think the price will be given? Either or possibly both.
So this is if there is an event.
If there is.
If there is an event, definitely going to get the release date, definitely going to get the price. We are running out of time. Whenever they're deciding to step out of the shadows, they're going to give us something big and juicy. They don't have enough time to F around, all right? I told you they're waiting for that stimulus check to get passed. Hasn't happened yet. That's what they're waiting on. But the second they know everybody's getting that $1,200 or whatever, they're going to announce the price, and it's going to be $1,200. So, no, next Sony event is going to announce it, but that's not happening September 9th.
Okay, there it is. You got the next one. How about one more bean bet before we close?
Okay. Yeah. So there was a bit of news. Ubisoft said that they had some kind of announcement, and they walked it back a bit, but in some press release, they said that the PlayStation 5 will only have PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility, which is disappointing because people were expecting PlayStation 1 and 2 and 3 backwards compatibility. But then they walked back that claim, leading people to believe that the door is still open for full backwards compatibility across all the consoles. So, Adam, my question to you is, now we're disregarding PlayStation Now, the streaming service, but my question to you is, how many playable consoles will there be on the PlayStation 5 in the first year? Now, I'm talking, you can go to the PlayStation Store, you can purchase a PlayStation 4 game and play it on that PS5. You go to the PlayStation Store, you used to be able to do this on the PS3, you can purchase a PS2 game or a PS1 game and play it on your console. Now, whether it's emulating it or not, I don't care. You just go, it's a PlayStation 1 game, you buy it, and you can play it on your console, not streaming. How many playable consoles do you think there's going to be? We're going to do the over-under. Do you want to set the line, or do you want to set over or under?
I mean, the line has to be 1, right?
Do you want to set the line at 1, Adam?
I'm assuming under would then mean you get 1. Okay.
Oh, I see. How many playable consoles? So you're saying PS5 doesn't count. So one would mean that you get PS5 and something else.
Okay, then 2, because I believe you were going to get PS5 and you were going to get PS4. That's it.
That's a good line. That's what I was going to set. I have to take the over. I have to, because you're definitely going to play PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5, and I think I have an inkling that they're going to have like some PlayStation 2 Classic or something. Xbox is running away with this backwards compatibility business. They want you to get in there, and they want you to play some PlayStation 2 games that you can download. They're filling up the marketplace. They got to get rid of them somehow. And maybe PSP games will be playable. Who knows?
Why? I just don't understand. Why? Like, who cares?
If
you want to play Final Fantasy VII, play the remix.
Yeah, but what if you want to play Final Fantasy VIII? There is no remix.
Guess what? You have like 8 other Final Fantasies you can play. Actually, no, you have like 10 other Final Fantasies.
All of the other ones suck. Imagine that.
It's not even true.
Yeah.
The thing is,
all Final Fantasies suck. That's the truth.
There's so many people like you out there who you just hoard games that you're never going to play. You want the ability to play them, but you never play them. You have like 5 versions of Witcher, and you haven't played a freaking minute of it.
I love all the games because I have trouble loving people.
You're such a loser. Oh my. With that, I want to thank you to listening to the one, the only Play PS5, the podcast. As a startup podcast, we would love you to rate us, subscribe on any of our platforms. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Google Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podcast Addict, and many more. Do you think there will be an event on the 9th? Who won the Master Debater? Do you have a recommendation for a specific TV or computer monitor to play the PS5 on? I want you to contact us right now on Twitter, PlayPS5Pod, or contact at PlayPS5Podcast.com. Until next time, don't play with yourself. Play PS5. I love it when I make the old coot giggle.